And hello and welcome to A Shave and a Song. This is shave day, actually shave 100. My 100th shave with a straight razor. And I've been waiting for this day for 100 days. For those of you who have tuned in because you searched for a band named King's X, and this is not what you were expecting to see when you did the search on YouTube, I invite you to stick around. We are going to play a little King's X. This is a little show of mine that I put together that started out as learning how to shave with a straight razor, and then kind of evolved into, hey, instead of just shaving and having a lot of silence, why not play some music? And so my goal was to play some songs or music by artists that may or may not be really popular. Sometimes the artists I play you have heard of, but I really like their stuff. And some of the things that I play maybe are a little less well known, and hopefully introduce you to some good music along the way. So stick around if you're here for King's X, and just enjoy the weirdness that this station is. All right, well, you already know who I'm going to be playing, but we'll get to that in just a minute. I'm going to start out with saying that shave number 100. I think last week I said it was like shave 80 something. I got off count. I doubled a week, and then I got off count again when I started recording on Fridays instead of Saturdays, and now it's Monday, and so I had to go back and look at the calendar, but today is indeed the 100th shave. This is the day where they say if you do 100 straight razor shaves, this is when muscle memory really starts to kick in, and you start getting some really, you feel comfortable with it, and you're getting decent shaves. And I will have to say the last week or 10 days, I've been getting some really, really good shaves. For those of you watching, this is a 4K camera, and I have really a really dark beard. Even when I cut it, cut the whiskers off, you can still see them underneath the skin. So when I get really close to the camera when I'm shaving, sometimes you'll think, wow, he didn't cut anything, or that looks like gross, ugly blackheads. That's not what it is. I just have really dark hair, and except right here, a lot of gray coming in. But when I'm looking at it in the mirror, I don't see what you guys see on camera. It's really, really smooth, and it's not as dark as it appears on camera. So I guess that's telling me that I have a good camera. Anyway, today for the 100th shave, I'm doing Catie's Bubbles Sunrise today. And we'll be topping it off with Dr. John's Savanah Sunrise for the finish. And then you never see me use this because I'm always done by it, but I always put on some Clubman Panade talc powder. I love that stuff. Use it every day. And this is where we began. We began with the Dovo Best Quality 6/8, and it started out. Let me get this out. It started out with the black cheap plastic scales. The razor's an amazing razor, but it has cheap plastic scales that snap just by looking at them. And so, well, that one's stuck to the counter. There we go, got it. So I went through 2 plastic scales, broke them both, and I said, you know, this is just ridiculous. So I decided to, I'm sort of an intermediate woodworker, and I said, well, what the heck, let's just finish my own scales. So I did. And so this is my Best Quality 6/8 refinished in zebra wood. Are we ready? All right, so I've got the puck ballooned, and I'm going to take some of the balloon water and just rub it on my face to keep it kind of wet while I'm building up a lather. So today, as you already know, is King's X Day. That might be a little too much water in there. King's X Day. King's X is a band that it's been around for a long time. Been around since like the mid-'80s. Well, they were together before that, but I think the mid-'80s is when they really started to take off, if you will. the problem using that word take off is because King's X is a band that if you've heard of, if you've heard of them, you really know how good their music is. Their music is really good. In fact, they're one of those rare bands that when you listen to an album, you can actually play it all the way through and listen to just about every song because it's just really good. However, they are also a band that if you've never heard of them, you've never heard of them, and I don't know why that is, other than the fact that you know, it's kind of like the band Rush. You know, Rush really didn't get a lot of airplay when they were coming up, and it was really Rush's fan base that kept that band going and turned them into the band that they would eventually become. And I would almost venture to say that's the same thing with King's X. It's their fan base that has really kept them going. Although they're one of those bands that they came really close. I mean, they did make it. You know, they've been signed. They perform a lot, but they should have been bigger. Let's put it that way. They should have been bigger. It's a three-piece, and they're kind of progressive metal, progressive funk band with very heavy influences in the blues and also gospel, which is a great combination because some of the tunes that they have are very heavily gospel influenced, although don't go so far as to call them a Christian rock band. I think maybe that might have been a little bit of the problem, because the reason they didn't catch on so much, because a lot of their songs, especially the first 4 albums, do deal a lot with spirituality issues, and definitely Christian spirituality issues. However, I don't know that they're really promoting Christianity so much within their music as they are with just kind of writing music about their exploration, about what they're going through. Because there's definitely music on both sides, you know, that question religion as well. But it's great music. But you can definitely tell that they were influenced by gospel. The song that I'm going to play today is Over My Head. It was released off the 1989 album Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. I'm going to wet my face and start building the lather. There we go. Off the Gretchen Goes to Nebraska album. And it did have a video which MTV played, but it was not in heavy rotation. As a matter of fact, I don't even remember seeing it on MTV. And back then I was watching MTV a lot, but that was also just about the time that MTV, in '89, it wouldn't be but a couple more years when, in my opinion, if you're watching this and you want to scream, that's fine. In my opinion, that's when MTV really started to lose its relevancy as a music channel. You know, late 80s, early 90s, especially in '92 when they came out with The Real World and reality TV was starting to be introduced. I think that was the time, that was about the period that MTV jumped the shark and just, in my opinion, just became a channel to be forgotten. And unfortunately, that's about the time that King's X was really starting to break into their own, and so the big medium of the day, music television, was just not relevant to anybody. So I wonder if that contributed to it a little bit. Also, I don't remember ever hearing their stuff played on the radio. And so I'm guessing that some of that they're a band that the radio stations were limited to a specific geographical locations, because I don't ever remember them being played where I was at. I didn't discover them until about early 2000s. Early 2000s, that's probably, you know, nearly 15 to 20 years after they were doing their stuff. And when I discovered them, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, what have I been missing? Just a great band. All right, as you know, we'll keep talking, but I do the first pass, and then on the second pass, we'll play the song. the last couple of days I've just got amazing shaves, which worries me that today may be a horrible shave. It goes like that. Not horrible, just not as good. I think the inconsistency is definitely user error and not anything else. I think it's just a matter of me still, even after 100 shaves, getting used to this. About time for a beard trim, I think. Not too bad. So yeah, like I said, I didn't discover King's X till years later. And they have some great albums, great songs, you know, like It's Love, which had another video on MTV. Far, Far Away, which I really like. In the Garden, or I Can Feel the Difference. And then also, probably my favorite, and I would venture to say it's almost every King's X fan's favorite, or at least ranks right up there in the top 5, is Goldilocks. Yeah, when they play Goldilocks live, sometimes the bass player Doug will just let the audience take it, and they know every single word, as do I. That's something. They've got a pretty impressive record of achievements as they're coming up through the line. They've opened up for bands such as Iron Maiden and AC/DC and Scorpions, Motley Crue, and they also were involved in the 1994 Woodstock Festival. And they have a really good rendition of Over My Head. If you can find it on MTV that they played at the Woodstock Festival in '94. So this particular song, again from the 1989 Gretchen Goes to Nebraska album, Over My Head, is indeed a spiritual song. It actually is a real song with the same title. But they reworked it. Actually, it's loosely based on this song, I think, because the tune doesn't even sound anything like it, and they've changed the words, a lot of the words, or added a lot of the words, different words. but it's definitely based on this spiritual over my head. So without further ado, as I'm painting the face, getting it ready for pass number 2, sit back, relax, and listen to a little bit of King's X over my head.
Can't you hear it? I hear it, don't you hear it? Listen, it's all around me. It's everywhere.
A little bit of King's X, Over My Head from 1989, Gretchen Goes to Nebraska. Almost makes you want to just let the album play, doesn't it? King's X gets a lot of heavy rotation for me on my playlist. And I've even used him when I go to the gym and work out, I'll listen to him. I always do that, come in a little bit too hot coming up right there. There we go. Yeah, you can imagine if you enjoyed that song. The reason I played it is because that was the very first King's X song I ever heard, was Over My Head, and I think I heard it when I was perusing YouTube. I'm the type of guy that can turn on YouTube, just go to a song, and then look at the recommendations that it has, and then I'll just start going down the recommendation list, and one recommendation leads to another, just to see where I go. And that's where I heard King's X. This is a fantastic video, so I would encourage you to go on YouTube and check it out. And if you stumbled upon this channel because you're a King's X fan and you were searching for Over My Head or King's X, I hope you stuck around and hope you liked it. And if today was your first day hearing King's X, well, I'm glad that you finally heard him. I almost played one song by King's X that I just have to play it over and over again because it's so eclectic. It's Six Broken Soldiers, and it was written by the drummer. And it is so captivating, but it's one of those songs you go, what in the heck does this mean? And he's been pretty tight-lipped about it. Won't tell anybody what it means, but it's one of those songs that you just have. I can't really explain it. The way it's done is just it's got me hooked. You know how it is. You have a song that you like. You can't really explain why, but you just have to listen to it. Cold water, woohoo! And it's cold outside. I think over the weekend we got a couple of snows, and all total we probably got about, I don't know, 9 inches of snow. And it was about 4 degrees when I woke up this morning. I hope everybody's enjoying the Olympics. They just started this past Friday. And I hope that everybody is enjoying their day, their February. All right, we'll clean the, wipe the razor down with some alcohol, and then we'll put on the aftershave. Hey, if you like what you heard today, what you saw today, make sure you give a like on the channel. I don't have a large following at this time, and you know, that's okay. To me, it's not about the numbers. I like doing this, whether anybody watches or not. I go back and watch. And I just like the music. It's a great excuse to play the music, and then if I introduce one person to a new piece of music, that's fine. But like the channel if you enjoyed it, and if you have an artist that maybe you'd like to see, an artist and a song you'd like to see featured, shoot me a comment and tell me who you'd like to see, or hear rather, because you'll see me whether or not we play the artist or not. So anyway, oh yeah, let's finish it off and then we'll sign off. Dr. John's Savanah Sunrise. Been shaving with Catie's Bubbles Sunrise. By the way, this is advertised as a punch in the face on a cold winter morning. I don't know if it says a cold winter morning, but they do advertise a punch in the face. And it's a good, they don't mean that negatively, it's a good punch in the face. Wakes you up. Oh, and I like this too. Nice feel, nice citrusy, little bit of a burn, not bad. Something that I will be able to enjoy. Got a great shave today. I'm definitely happy with where I've come after 100 shaves. I don't think I'll count shaves anymore. Maybe I'll count them when we get closer to a year. But from now on, it'll just be a shave and a song. Hope you liked King's X over my head. Enjoy your day, live life, and enjoy shaving, everyone. I'll see you next time.